Hey Raiders fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. The entire NFL world woke up in disbelief this morning after a move that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. The Las Vegas Raiders, a team that has been flirting with chaos and brilliance in equal measure this season, just pulled off one of the most unexpected signings in recent memory. EFE OBADA, the British defensive end who became a cult hero with the Washington Commanders, is packing his bags for Sin City. That's right, OBADA, the London-born powerhouse who's been breaking barriers for international players in the NFL, is officially a Raider. This wasn't some long-brewing rumor or subtle hint dropped on social media. This was a thunderbolt, a pure shockwave that hit fans, analysts, and even players across the league. People are already flooding social platforms with reactions, some thrilled, some baffled, and some calling it one of the smartest under-the-radar moves of the year. The Raiders have always been known for their swagger, their willingness to take risks, and this one feels like a classic Raiders moment. Bold, unpredictable, and dripping with attitude. What makes this signing even juicier is the timing. The Raiders have been desperate to bolster their defensive line, a unit that has struggled to generate consistent pressure despite having Max Crosby wreaking havoc every week. Adding EFE OBADA to that mix could be the secret weapon they've been missing. Standing at 6'6" and built like a brick wall, OBADA brings not just size and strength, but experience, resilience, and a global story that inspires anyone who's ever been told they don't belong. Born in Nigeria, raised in London, and discovered through the NFL's International Pathway program, OBADA's journey has always been about defying expectations. Now, joining one of the most storied franchises in American football, he's got another chapter to write, and Raider Nation is buzzing with anticipation. The question now is simple. Is this just a depth signing, or did the Raiders just find their next offensive gem? The whispers started late last night when a few eagle-eyed fans noticed that EFE OBADA had removed Commanders from his social media bio. At first, nobody thought much of it. Players do that all the time. But within hours, journalists started hinting that something bigger was brewing. Then came the bombshell. Multiple sources confirming that the Raiders had swooped in with an aggressive offer, convincing OBADA to bring his British grit to Las Vegas. The Commanders, who had used him mostly in rotational roles, reportedly made an effort to keep him, but OBADA was looking for something new, a bigger stage, a louder crowd, a fresh challenge. And honestly, what better place for that than Las Vegas? The city of lights, risk, and reinvention now gets one of the league's most respected international veterans. This move isn't just about football, it's about identity, energy, and maybe even redemption. Inside sources say the Raiders' coaching staff has been quietly obsessed with adding depth to the defensive line for weeks. Antonio Pierce, known for his no-nonsense defensive mentality, apparently pushed hard for OBADA. He wanted a player with attitude, someone who could fit into that locker room of underdogs and misfits. OBADA's reputation as a team-first guy who grinds in silence and lets his performance do the talking made him the perfect fit. And while the Raiders' defense has been solid, it's lacked that extra punch on the edges, something OBADA could immediately bring. Imagine him lining up opposite Crosby, forcing quarterbacks into bad decisions. It's not a fantasy. It's a real possibility now. Fans are already dreaming of a defensive duo that could terrorize the AFC West. And let's not ignore the marketing angle. The Raiders just became the team of choice for every NFL fan in the UK. Speaking of the UK, this move has sent shockwaves across the Atlantic. British NFL fans are ecstatic. EFE OBADA is more than just a player to them. He's a symbol of what's possible when talent meets opportunity. His journey from homelessness in London to sacking NFL quarterbacks is legendary, and now he's taking that story to one of the most electrifying cities in the world. Social media in Britain is already lighting up with posts from fans planning to buy Raiders jerseys with OBADA's name on the back. The NFL London games have done a lot to grow the sport overseas, but having a British star on a team as iconic as the Raiders takes that connection to another level. The league knows this, and don't be surprised if we see Las Vegas featured heavily in future UK broadcasts. The global marketing potential here is massive, and the Raiders seem to know exactly what they're doing. Still, beneath all the hype, there's a real football story brewing. EFE OBADA isn't just a headline. He's a proven player who's battled injuries, competition, and doubt his entire career. His 2022 and 2023 seasons showed flashes of his disruptive potential, even when he wasn't a full-time starter. He's powerful off the edge, smart with his hand placement, and relentless when closing in on quarterbacks. The Raiders have been missing that kind of rotational consistency, and OBADA could thrive in their system. The challenge now will be adaptation, new scheme, new teammates, new city. But if there's one thing EFE OBADA has never shied away from, it's a challenge. For him, every move has been about proving he belongs, and this might just be his biggest opportunity yet. Raider Nation better be ready, because something special might be coming their way. The reaction in Washington, however, has been bittersweet. Commanders fans loved EFE OBADA not just for his play, but for his presence, the quiet determination, the humility, the respect he commanded in the locker room. Losing a player like that always stings, especially when it feels like he had more to give. Some insiders suggest the Commanders underestimated his value, focusing too heavily on youth and overlooking the leadership that OBADA brought. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud, but he was reliable. And reliability in the NFL is pure gold. Washington's defensive front remains talented, but fans can't help but wonder if they'll regret letting him walk. In a league that's constantly chasing the next big thing, sometimes the biggest loss is the steady hand you didn't appreciate enough. And now, that steady hand is wearing silver and black, ready to turn heads in the desert. In Las Vegas, the narrative is already forming. The Raiders have long been seen as the team that thrives on chaos, the Mavericks of the NFL. But this move feels calculated, like a piece of a much bigger puzzle. They're building something under Antonio Pierce, something gritty, disciplined, and proud. And adding OBADA, a player who's fought for everything he's earned, fits that identity perfectly. You can almost feel the energy shifting. Players are excited. The locker room loves stories like this because they inspire everyone, the veterans, the rookies, the fringe guys trying to make the roster. OBADA's presence alone raises the standard. He's not a superstar, not yet, but he's the kind of player who changes the tone of a team. The Raiders know exactly what they're getting, a warrior who never quits, no matter the odds. If you think about it, the timing couldn't be more poetic. The Raiders are clawing their way back into playoff contention, fighting for respect after years of inconsistency. And in walks a player who's built his entire career on fighting for respect. It's almost cinematic. Imagine the first time OBADA takes the field in Allegiant Stadium. The lights, the roar of the crowd, the silver and black uniforms glinting under the Vegas glow. It's a moment that will feel bigger than football. This is about resilience, about global reach, about rewriting the script. The Raiders have made a statement, loud and clear. They're not just rebuilding, they're redefining what it means to be a Raider. And for EFE OBADA, this might be the chapter that finally gives his story the spotlight it deserves. Of course, skeptics are already raising eyebrows. Some analysts argue that OBADA's production has been inconsistent, that his impact might not match the hype. But those same analysts said the same thing when he joined Carolina and then again in Washington, and every single time he proved them wrong. He's the type of player whose value doesn't always show up on stat sheets. He brings energy, accountability, and effort, and that's something no metric can truly measure. Antonio Pierce knows this. The Raiders are building around attitude and toughness, and OBADA fits like a glove. There's a sense among insiders that Pierce personally reached out, telling OBADA he believed in him. That kind of faith can light a fire in a player who's already been through it all. The critics might doubt, but Raider Nation, they're all in. What makes this story even more fascinating is how it ties into the broader narrative of the NFL's international expansion. The league has been hungry for a global face who can genuinely connect with fans outside the U.S., and EFE OBADA is exactly that. He's living proof that the pathway works, that talent can come from anywhere if given a chance. The Raiders, ever the marketing geniuses, surely see the bigger picture. They're not just signing a defensive end, they're embracing a global movement. Imagine the Raiders playing a London game next season, with OBADA leading the defense. The crowd would lose its mind. The symbolism of that would be enormous. The British kid who made it to the NFL returning as a Raider, playing in front of his home crowd. It's the kind of storyline you can't script. It's unfolding right before our eyes. As the dust settles, one thing's clear. This isn't just a signing, it's a statement. The Raiders are telling the league they're ready to surprise people again. And EFE OBADA, the man who's made a career out of surprising everyone, fits that perfectly. From the streets of London to the neon lights of Las Vegas, his journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. For fans, it's the kind of story that reminds you why you love sports. The unpredictability, the emotion, the sheer human will to overcome. As he dons that black and silver jersey for the first time, one can only imagine the pride running through him. The Raiders have their new warrior, and the NFL has a new reason to pay attention. The shockwaves from this move are just beginning, and something tells me this story is far from over. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. And now, as training camp approaches, all eyes will be on OBADA to see how quickly he can integrate into the Raiders system. Adjusting to a new playbook, new teammates, and a new city is never easy. But OBADA thrives on challenges that would intimidate most players. His work ethic is legendary. Early mornings, late nights, constant film study, and that attitude alone can elevate those around him. Reports from inside the Raiders' facilities suggest that veteran players are already impressed by his commitment and the way he communicates on the field. It's not just about physical ability. It's about leadership, presence, and the kind of professionalism that sets a tone in the locker room. For a team trying to shake off inconsistency and build a winning culture, having someone like OBADA is a huge psychological boost. Fans are beginning to imagine what the defensive line could look like with him rotating in, creating havoc for opposing quarterbacks while energizing the entire defense. The combination of raw talent, experience, and a relentless drive to prove himself again is the perfect storm for a breakout season. Off the field, the media frenzy is intensifying as well. Sports networks are already speculating about what this signing means for the Raiders' long-term strategy, while social media explodes with memes, reactions, and predictions. Analysts debate whether OBADA can sustain his high-impact play over a full season, while fans argue that even rotational contributions could swing key games in the Raiders' favor. UK media outlets are also buzzing, celebrating a homegrown talent making waves on one of the NFL's biggest stages. OBADA's story has transcended the sport itself. It's about determination, opportunity, and global recognition. Raiders PR teams are seizing the moment, hinting at promotional events, fan meetups, and merchandise drops that could capitalize on his rising profile. The narrative is shaping up perfectly. A resilient underdog arriving in Las Vegas to rewrite his legacy and help a team desperate to make a statement. The hype, the anticipation, and the intrigue are reaching fever pitch, and the next few weeks will be crucial in shaping how this story unfolds. Finally, as the NFL season looms ever closer, the excitement surrounding EFE OBADA's arrival in Las Vegas is palpable. Expectations are high, but so is the potential for greatness. This signing isn't just about filling a roster spot. It's about infusing a team with energy, heart, and a story that fans can rally around. Raiders Nation now has a new figure to root for, someone who embodies resilience and audacity in equal measure. Every sack, every tackle, every huddle will carry the weight of his journey, from London streets to NFL stardom, now landing in the desert to chase new triumphs. Rival teams are surely taking notice, realizing that OBADA is more than just a footnote. He's a symbol of a Raiders squad ready to shake up the league. And for OBADA, the opportunity is monumental. A fresh start, a larger stage, and the chance to cement his legacy in one of the league's most storied franchises. The rumor mill, the excitement, and the anticipation aren't fading. They're just getting started. Raider Nation might just be witnessing the beginning of something unforgettable. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.